Hey folks, my name's Adam McIntosh and this is my video on how to be creative. Now in this video you're not going to find tips on things like to carry a notebook and to play your instrument for 10 minutes a day. These are more philosophies and things that I use to be creative on a daily basis. To prepare yourself to get a little deep, but I hope you find something in here useful and educational. Enjoy the background footage and let's get right into it. The first tip is to be open to ideas, understand them and grow them. To start to develop ideas, we must be first accepting of an idea, sort of to give it a landing pad. And once we have it in our position, we can start to understand and grow it into something bigger of our own. As I spoke about in my video, Exercising Your Creative Brain, I see the creative brain as much like a ball of clay. To keep that ball from hardening, it must be massaged and rolled around, and kept malleable and alive. Preferably, we would do a little bit of this every day. Now that doesn't mean you need to paint a masterpiece every day. It can be as simple as entertaining an idea. For many of us getting started on our creative journey, or maybe reinvigorating an older passion for creativity, we must learn or relearn how to recognize and or develop an idea. Every day, we're presented with things we're attracted to. A phrase, a shade of color, a composition, a sound or a scent. It is now your duty to ask yourself questions such as, what is appealing to me about this? How can I implement this into my own work? Am I attracted to this thing literally, conceptually, or emotionally? How can I take this simple attraction and grow it into something bigger? Can I turn this phrase into a poem or a song? Is this idea to be painted or photographed? And so on, and so on. Through this methodology, we will start to understand what is attractive to us, what is important to us, and what it is we would like to translate into our own works. I would encourage to not only look and understand things that hold obvious beauty, but also to push yourself to find beauty in what you might consider the most mundane of things. E.g., your commute to work, doing the laundry, a stranger walking their dog. Through this practice, this will become second nature, and like blinking, you will barely recognize yourself doing it. My second piece of advice is to find a style. Now, I don't think finding a style is the most important things of all, if all you want is a little creative motivation, but it certainly can help. Developing a style often takes research and practice, two things invaluable in themselves to achieve something also invaluable. Developing and or choosing a style can help you focus your scope on what you want to achieve, and more importantly, how you convey it. Particularly when beginning your creative journey, there can feel like so many options on how you might display an idea. Deciding on even just two factors that will help to stick to during your production may help you get to the finish line without getting lost. Finishing work is important for many reasons, such as learning dedication and understanding a process until the very end. Then, for the advance, styles serve as building blocks where limitations can start to be pushed and pulled, or as a body to grow personal influence upon, and creating work distinguishable to your name. The research to develop a style can be limitless in inspiration, and the trial and error process required to achieve a unique style serves as constant stimulation to that ball of clay, aka our creative brain. Personally, this part of being creative is one I have struggled with the most. In this day and age, it's seemingly impossible to do anything that hasn't been done before, and that challenge has at times crippled my own creative process, as I let the idea of only wanting to create this completely unique work almost stop me from creating entirely out of fear for creating something everybody has already seen before. If, like myself, you are also overwhelmed in this process, I must recommend Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. It is a super easy and fun read, which has a dramatic turning point and my overcoming of the barriers I was placing in front of myself. And no, I'm not in any way paid or encouraged to endorse this book, just giving credit where credit is due and trying to help you out. My third tip would be to become a master. Now don't be scared, this doesn't have to be taken too literally. Depending on your medium, this could take thousands of hours, and if you're a hobbyist just starting out, this might seem daunting, but for the most part, I'm speaking conceptually. Concepts are arguably the most important part of art. You can see this often in modern and contemporary art. We've all said it at least once when in an art museum, or heard how much a contemporary piece sold for. Oh, even my 6-year-old kid could do that. But what is really important, or being sold in auction, is the idea, and more importantly, the talent it takes to channel that idea through something literal or tangible. It's that talent that so many of us lack or struggle with. You might have a simple idea that you can't find the words to explain. However, a poet might put it more eloquently than you ever thought possible. A painter can find the oddly understandable colors to summarize his relationship with his mother. A musician can play the notes of how her anxiety sounds. In a similar vein, a photo of a child might just seemingly be an above-average snapshot of a child. However, upon research, discovering that the image is a part of a series where the photographer is capturing the stories behind children being exploited as slave workers changes the entire value of this piece, which is exactly my point. The concept is what is really important or valuable. How to use an idea can take many more years to develop than how to use oil paints because of its conceptual nature. It's not as literal, and the path towards that understanding is often cut by the individual. Books, blog posts, and YouTube tutorials such as this can help you see tracks that guide you along the way, but ultimately you will inherently have to develop your own methods. So become a master of conveying your thoughts. Good luck. Finally, in a more literal sense, and I'll keep this part short because it's probably quite obvious, the more you understand, the more tools you have to work with. The more ingredients in your kitchen, the more analogies in your repertoire. My fourth and final tip for today is adopt or create a philosophy. Find a creative philosophy that works for you and believe it. Don't just agree with it, believe it. And if you're feeling, well, philosophical, then write your own. This could be anything from a simple mantra to a full-blown thesis. Like many things in the creative realm, what works for you is often quite individual. For myself, I have a large array of beliefs pertaining to my creative philosophy, some of which I will list here as to give you an idea on how you might develop your own. I believe, as humans, we largely take and consume in one way or another for most of our lives. Creating work that would otherwise not exist without my time and effort is my way of giving back to the universe, or whatever you want to call it. I believe that in an ideal world, if we are to spend more time doing what we love, we will in turn be happier as people, and the exponential outcome of positivity from that is potentially limitless. Creating is what makes me happy, therefore I create. Creativity is bigger than me. It was around a long time before I was, and will be around a long time after I'm gone. Create art, for me, is to give to something bigger than myself, a selfless act, and one that makes me happy. These are just a few of the personal ones, and yes, I know they go pretty deep and conceptual, but these aren't even the weirdest ones, and let me assure you, I think about this obsessively and passionately, hence why I'm doing this video on the topic. You don't have to go as deep or conceptual, obviously, but having ideas and mantras about what creativity means to you will encourage your belief in its importance. And if you believe it's important, then you will create. I hope this has been of some help and inspiration. I'm truly passionate about helping others reach their creative potential. So if there's any questions, suggestions, etc., please don't hesitate to leave a comment or question me on any of the linked social medias. If this video has helped you out, it may just help others. So please do give it a like or a share and pass on that motivation to another. Who knows what work they might create given the right inspiration. Thanks for listening. Have a good day and happy creating. Peace.